Hello and welcome to another episode of Arcane Precision. Today we have a new host who's going to be joining us on a more permanent basis. And to start off, I'm Kyle,
I'm John.
and we are being joined by someone who's been on here multiple times. Eric, go ahead and say hello.
Hello, I'm Eric. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Good.
We have had you on a few times. I think you were on our most recent episode as well, talking about some numbers and everything. And we just decided like, hey, let's have him on more permanent. And we're super glad you were more than happy to come.
I'm always happy to talk Warmachine. I've had a lot of fun on the episodes of the podcast that I've been on before, and yeah, I'm excited.
You get to check another thing off the midlife crisis, right?
Yeah, another checkbox on the millennial midlife crisis. Podcasting.
So today we're going to kind of go over, all, the big topic, the keynote and all the announcements that they've come out with and kind of do a year in review. So we can start off, I think, with the keynote. I mean, it's been a few weeks since Lock and Load. We all know how the results of that came out. I believe probably by this point, most people have watched the keynote. Any highlights that you guys have that you're like super excited for that you saw?
I'm very excited for Fane and Nero. Yeah, that we've only got the one bit of splash art to go off of, but it was like exactly what I was hoping it would be.
Bat Riders. I mean, it's going to be so cool seeing how that plays out.
Like if there is a warcaster that's basically or a warlock, sorry, that's basically like the Witch King on the Fell Beast from Return of the King, then that's a missed opportunity if you ask me.
That wasn't on the roadmap yet, though, was it? For when it's actually releasing, they didn't have that on there because right now
It was the redacted army after Kithgard.
Okay.
So it's like I think we're getting Kithgard. Uh, was it like end of Q1 / beginning of Q2, and then Fane and Nero on the heels of that.
Yeah, so you're talking, what is that? Probably midsummer by the time everything comes out for it.
Probably something like that. It'll give me time to get my Necrofactorium stuff painted up.
You just got to buy a little bit more of that, right? Have some options for when the update drops.
Well, now there's Death Jack, and I don't have the Necro Harvester or the Big Metal Worm, but those will be necessary.
Right now, with how they are, you probably could get by without having the Harvester. I'm not really sure on the Hellraker.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not buying anything until the January update comes out anyway, but
Not even a core book.
okay, I'll buy a core book.
I stopped in today to see if they had them yet at the art store, and they have not gotten them yet. So I'm hoping they get them in tomorrow because I am just like chomping at the bit to get that book in my hand.
I need it so I can still forget the rules.
Well, we all know Warmachine is actually an oral tradition game. Like, how many
Right.
people have actually sat down and read the rule book? You have, haven't you,
Listen.
Eric?
Passed down from generation to generation.
I mean, speaking of that, John, that's what you're going to be doing, isn't that?
What am I doing?
Passing the knowledge down generation to generation. You said you're getting your son into Storm Legion.
Yes. Hoping to. We'll talk about it later in
Yeah.
the goals section. But yeah, that's one of. It'll be spoiler alert. One of my goals is to get my son Ethan rolling on playing Warmachine. But talking about the keynote things that we're excited for, I'm trying not to be excited for Mythgard because I don't need another army to get into. But it's really, really hard, especially after seeing the new new models that they sort of spoiled at Lock and Load. And the big what's it called? The Fortress King.
Yeah,
Oh
whatever
yeah.
the new king. I'm just like I might be a Kithgard player.
What I'm really excited for though is Behemoth on a mobility scooter. That
Got the
that
Xerxes
model.
treatment.
Yeah,
I
the
know
model
that
calls to me.
design. I know that design has been controversial, but I personally love it, and I don't normally go for uh, Kador in general. It's just never been my thing. Uh, but I think the new Behemoth is rad.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I think all the new super heavies are really cool. Shout out to Trogdor, the Burninator.
I think the Orgoth Trogdor or God, I can't remember his name now.
As a baga
Azdurak.
Drak.
Azrak.
Yeah, Azrak. Yeah,
I think
yeah, it's a
his
big event.
sculpt is probably my favorite. And then between Deathjack and Behemoth, that's a tie, and I think Deathjack kind of comes out on top.
I don't really like. Yeah, I
But for
guess.
me, the Thunderhead, just the renders I've seen have me just kind of say it just looks really static.
Mm.
Mm.
He's hovering, right? Or
Say not a pun there at all. I mean, he is levitating with electricity, so that
Yeah, I like Deathjack's design. It's just like it's kind of the same issue, I guess, for lack of a better word, that I had with like the original Deathjack design back in the day, is that it's a prick Sporejack. Like that's what they look like, and this one's
yeah,
bigger.
yeah,
and I've been saying it for a while. I love the scale of the 80 millimeters compared to the 120s.
Yeah, I agree. And I noticed this when I was putting my Phantasm together, is that the model itself is actually not that big. Like it actually is much like more in a scale that I do prefer. But it's like made to fill out the 120 millimeter footprint by like the sort of scenic base it's attached to, and also the wings.
yeah. It's it's dusk. I think it's supposed to look sleek in anime.
Yeah.
So usually, yeah, because the Abyssal King definitely fills and overhangs from the 120.
Yeah, like
It's a big boy.
it's like the Phantasm is actually quite dainty because
Yeah, yeah,
it's made to fill out the base through, like I said, the scenic stuff and its
and the
posing. Like it's
yeah,
very leaning forward and stuff like that, so its
right.
swords overhang like crazy. But like if you when I was putting it together and I had it in pieces, I was like, this actually isn't that big.
Mm,
It's still one of my favorite models of all time, though. It's so cool.
yeah, no, it looks so cool. I mean, what are you talking about? I haven't seen it yet. What are you talking about? The Phantasm?
You haven't seen his Phantasm yet?
I hear it's in the app now.
Oh, hang
He
on. That just went way over my head. The hand in front. Yep.
How many more times do we have?
um well, you've played one game against it, I think,
Oh, okay.
because the most recent time I played you, I was using my Necrofectorium.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, you get two more. You can keep making that joke until I play you twice more with the Phantasm.
I'll just have to dodge you so I can just make the joke forever.
Phantasm is a very solid colossal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't it's not the fanciest, but it's not but it does exactly what the faction needs. Like it needed a really solid gun platform of a jack, and that's what it delivers.
I agree.
So back to the keynote, John. You're trying
Yeah.
very hard not to be excited about Kithgard.
Yes, I am failing. That little treehouse thing is really cool. Everything I've seen is really cool.
If you get the treehouse, you need to give it like a "No girls allowed" sign.
Yes.
Um,
um
but yeah, no,
yeah,
I won't
this
get out the spray bottle if you buy Kithgard.
I you know what's gonna hold me back from it is that I have a feeling that it's gonna play like Wintercore and Gravediggers that lots of shooting, lots of like it's finesse, and I'm looking to get away from that since
Hmm.
it's a difficult play style for me to handle without the reps. So I've
All
found that
right.
I gravitate more towards herp derp, axe to face. And there's still some nuance
And
and
here you are playing Grimkin again.
yes, and honestly, as tricky and as hard to play as Grimkin is, to me, not having all that shooting aspect of the game helps me play. If that makes any sense, play uh, better because we all know that I struggle with clock, and I think not having all those activations where I'm shooting constantly to basically level the playing field. Um,
That is a good point because I was noticing that in the solitary game, which was against you, that I have with Necrofactorium now, which is a much more melee focused army than my Dusk is like yeah the what to do on your turn at any given time does feel a bit more straightforward
right. Yeah.
because you don't need to worry about things like, oh no, if I charge these guys in first, then they're gonna get the extra defense against my guns.
Right.
So I need to do my guns first, but oh no, there's stuff in the way. But I want to be charging with the guys that are in the way. Oh no,
That makes sense.
just me.
I can definitely relate to that. Winter Core's been like that for me. I don't get me wrong. I've had fun playing Winter Core, and I'm still excited about it. It's just I don't want to just be playing those kinds of armies. I need a little bit of a break from that from time to time, and
Mhm.
I think I think Grimkin does that for me. At least right now, it does. And I'm yet to figure out Prime Bloods. I think I've just been playing it the wrong way. Um, so that'll be a problem for the new year if I decide to go all in on them.
Well,
But
you did spend a great deal of time this year trying to make double Abyssal Kings happen.
yes, yes,
So like a lot of your you said you hadn't quite been playing them right, and it's like, well, a lot of your time with them was taking something that you knew was suboptimal because you thought it was cool and fun.
yeah, it was fun. Uh,
And it
but
was cool.
anyway, back to the subject. Kyle, did you mention what you were excited from the seeing the keynote?
Uh, Kyle is assisting his family at the moment.
Oh, oh,
A few moments later.
Yeah,
Oh, where did we leave off? We left off.
so John has finished his like his look what he's looking forward to after the keynote, and
Oh, playing
yeah.
Kithgard.
no. Trying not to play Kid
Yeah.
I, Eric, are you hearing this? I clearly heard he said he's going to be playing Kithgard.
As far as John saying he's not going to play something, I will believe that when I see it, and you can't prove a negative. So
The math guy strikes again.
I would have to sell stuff. So Look out for Dusket at Boker Brawl.
No, you do have to start Dusk again so you can sell it again at Boker Brawl. Every Boker Brawl of Mark IV, you have sold a Dusk army.
That's actually impressive, John.
Dusk is my new Kador. Because I'm sure I've said it on the podcast before. I think I've owned and sold Kador like 5 times throughout all of Mark II and Mark III. So
Yeah, thinking about it, you definitely have. You're always like,
Let
oh,
me
I've played this enough, and then, oh wait, that's really cool again. I want to play
yeah,
that again.
and
well, back in the day
the
when I was playing in Mark II, that was how I knew you as a Kador player.
yeah the little icing on the cake was it was the Wild West of like we knew Mark IV was coming, so I didn't feel like playing Mark III style anymore, and I just said I really want. I never got to try Sorce's 11 or whatever.
Ocean's 18 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Oceans, however many models you can fit in that shoot
Solos,
well.
lots of solos.
Yeah, yes. And I bought stuff just to do that list, and I had so much fun playing it. And I didn't do too bad. I actually had that Booker Brawl. I brought it, and I'm pretty sure I had an even record at the end, just like killing people top of two. It was great.
It was a
They're
very
like,
good
and this
list.
isn't. What's that?
It was a very good list.
Yeah, it wasn't bad with the Thamorite Archons. And people would be like, "And this is not in theme." I'm like, "Nope, it's not in theme." Yeah. So anyway, sidetrack. Do you mention what you were excited about, or
Kyle, no.
I haven't.
seeing the keynote?
There's a lot on there.
I
Their
know.
partnership with Galactic Armory, I believe it is. I'm so very excited for
Is that the
That's the cosplay thing,
the
right?
cosplay
cosplay
stuff?
stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. That looked
because
interesting.
I actually get to use some skills I learned when I was younger, um, putting things together and doing all the sanding with the Bondo and all that. So it's nice and smooth and paint. Like I'm so excited for stuff like that.
Cool.
Definitely, depending on what the stuff is, I probably will make some videos of the process because I'm so excited for it. Seeing some of the Helldiver stuff that they have, it's incredible.
That'd be cool to see. Like it would open up a new hobby avenue, really.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they kind of like they're in their little ad for it, they snuck in kind of a middle finger to GW and their practices regarding cosplay and their IP and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like SFG is I mean they're protective of their IP, but it's not as strict as I think Privateer Press was. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining it, but they're definitely not as strict as GW is.
I don't think there's another company that's as strict as GW.
Right. Yeah.
Disney.
Well, I mean,
True.
yes, but a miniatures company, and I mean, I guess you can count Disney as that because they license the Star Wars stuff
And Marvel.
and Marvel.
Right.
So I guess Disney is in the miniatures game if you really think about it.
So Kyle, who are you going to cosplay as first?
Oh no. I guess I could do Butcher. I do have the bod for it.
Butcher, bearded butcher. Please don't shave. I don't think I can emotionally handle seeing you without a beard that I've seen you with for a very very long time.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that at work, and none of my coworkers, and I've been there for 10 years, have ever seen me without a beard.
I remember, but it's been a bit. I
But we have, yeah, I'm
yeah.
excited for the Galactic Armory. The other thing, I don't know why, but I'm just super stoked for the Pharaoh uh, being put on my mini factory.
Oh, I noticed you put in a list in the January steamroller.
I don't have a lot of those models, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, interesting. I thought you were just trolling us. You're farrowing us.
And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. We'll see. But yeah, then, I mean, obviously, everyone is waiting with bated breath for the Adepticon one now to see what's happening with Menoth.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope that whatever they do with Menoth is like exactly what the Menoth players are looking for. I know they said it won't be dinosaurs, but
That's a very you could ask 10 meta people and they'll have different answers.
I mean, depending on what they're doing, I actually might consider it. I came close to playing Menoth a few times in Mark II, Mark III.
Yeah, I actually me too. Um but I never really that's one of them that I never really pulled the trigger on. I own a few models here and there, but yeah, that it does seem interesting.
I was always a fan of like their play style with like, you know, the kind of like the synergy aspect of it where it's like it starts out really strong, but if you lose, you know, your key support pieces, it starts to fall apart. Like I think that's really cool. But I was never really into the like Knights Templar look.
See,
Hmm.
that's the look I really liked.
Oh, okay.
I think if it's anything like battered armor in like jungle setting, like I would be 100% in because that definitely would be something that would interest me. Um, because it some of them went to what was it? Zoo, I
Zoo.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the military portion of them went that way. It was mostly refugees.
I think it was
With
Tristan.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something of that. There's something a little different than just seeing Menoth come back would interest me more. But I can see how they could just stick to the this is Menoth, like this is the look that they have. Let's just keep with that, and I'm sure it would be successful.
Well, they have been doing a lot of you know, putting a new spin on things with their like their new follow-up faction, you know, like
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it's like, you know, what if the trolls were pirates? What if the elves were undead? Uh
Yeah,
what if Circle was full of bears?
no, that's true for sure.
I mean, they're only getting their beasts from Wormwood, aren't they? Because Old Witch is holding them hostage.
Oh, is that the
I'm pretty sure that's what I was reading. I'd really have to go. It's been a while since I read a lot of the old Umbre stuff,
Wait,
but I'm
what?
pretty sure Old Witch has Wormwood like held hostage and is
Oh,
using him to make the war beasts.
oh, okay. Yeah, I did hear a little snippet about that.
anything else you're into here, Kyle, that you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, I'm still gonna pick up Thunderhead, obviously, because I right now I'm really torn in a few different directions. I have my Storm Legion. I have a good portion of Gravediggers, and I have the startings of an old Umbre army. So I think January, when the update drops for that first month, I'm going to be kind of at a crossroads of which direction I'm actually going to go.
Hmm.
So obviously everyone's excited for the update.
Speaking of, Remember when I was last on this show and we were talking about spell racks and we said that we don't want spell racks to like go away, but need them like altered to be less impactful in their spells and have the warcasters have more bespoke spells of their own. And then like a couple of weeks later they announced that the spell rack was going away entirely.
Yeah, that was, I was a little shocked that they went to that extreme. I feel like they could have pulled a couple different levers, but at the time where they're releasing a rule book and going into a major update, it's not a bad time to just rip that band-aid off, and it's going to help new players get in. The thing you're going to see is you might just lose at list selection depending on how everything falls if you're
Yeah,
in a matchup.
that is kind of the thing that the spell rack has been very good for is that it's like and I know in my case it's been like oh no, I picked the wrong list and I'm going into a gun line. It's like, well, I can still rack deceleration and maybe it won't be so bad. It's allowed me to definitely at least make a game out of something that I would have just lost before, and it's going to be an adjustment losing that.
Yeah, I mean everyone's going to be feeling that. I think you're going to have some things slip through the cracks because the spell rack's going away. You have all of these older armies that never had it that are now going to be basically on the same playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that they'll address things that could happen, or if they tell us, hey, we're doing the one major update a year, then that's what we're doing. Great. But if they say, hey, we see this, just transparency, I think, is important. So hopefully that's something that they acknowledge if something slipped through.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like one of the things I was kind of bemoaning with the addition of the spell rack at the start of Mark IV is that it definitely came at a cost to like individualized caster identity.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like the things that sort of define your caster's play style. It's like there's their stat line and base abilities, there's their feat, and then there's their spell list. And half of each caster's spell list is the same as the every other caster in your faction. So it's a lot hard. Like the other aspects of their card need to do a whole lot more heavy lifting to give a caster their identity in that condition.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can definitely see that. With the
Like for Dusk, it's like every caster is a Battlelust caster. We.
yeah, yeah. With that, you have other factions that they're going to be getting rid of Windstorm,
Mm-hmm.
that everyone will have, so that'll definitely be a nice change. So, and I think we're all going to be happy that Carnage is no longer going to be on every single caster in a faction that has access to it.
Yep.
Crix and Orgoth. What? Um, I think you're going to see the trike tone down a little bit with the spell rack happening like that because they can't take what is it, Dragon's Blood or something?
Oh
Is the
yeah,
spell?
I think it's Dragon's Blood. I
The armor
forget
spell?
the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So not every
Yeah,
caster is just going to have that and make the trike just that much harder to kill type of thing. So I think that's definitely going to help with a lot of the things we're seeing issues with. But again, it's going to depend on where those spells end up. Because I think they said they were planning on taking most of those spells and dispersing them to the casters.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
seems to be the idea. I'm sure they're well aware of the perils that they could come across if they don't do this right, because you're basically rebalancing whole armies.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this must have been an easier thing to do than actually fixing the spell racks. I don't see it, but they must have, because I can't imagine that they would want to put more work on their hands with something that wasn't broken. So I'm hoping, and so far they've done a good job um, balancing things, where nothing seems to be too out of hand, not like in the old days. So it makes me, even though I wasn't keen on the racks going away, it makes me cautiously optimistic about the future.
Yeah, I think like for me it's like I was preaching the gospel of like give each like reduce each caster's rack slots by one and give them all one more bespoke spell and then like cut the rack to like five more situational spells, take off things like, you know, caster defining spells like Battle Lust, Windstorm, Carnage and all that. But I think, since we're not getting that, I think getting rid of them entirely is still a better choice than just leaving them as it is.
Yeah, and I think it's going to make it easier for players to get in, so they don't have that analysis paralysis when they're first starting, where it's just like, okay, what do I take? So
Yeah.
it's going to speed up tournaments as well because you don't have players sitting there for and it's just a couple minutes, but debating like, okay, what spells am I going to take for this? I mean, a lot of times, players who've been playing that get a lot of games in are just gonna be like, okay, I rack this and this.
Hmm.
But
And then sometimes you would forget too.
yeah, and the more casual players, myself included, we, I'll him and ha go back and forth, and I'll just be like, well, I'll just take these ones that I know are going to be decent pretty much into everything. So it's going to be, it's going to speed up that process too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I tended to find that uh, a lot of my rack choices were mostly made at list construction, and you know, like barring specific matchups where I might say like, oh, I actually want this spell instead. But normally it would be like, okay, this like all this stuff I'm taking is going to be good with, these rack spells. And like kind of the thing that I hope for most is like I hope that the like rebalancing that's done is like fairly thorough, because I know like in the case of Dusk, like a lot of what has kept the faction competitive in this past year has been the fact that the rack is really good, and that's why like the casters you've seen the most of this past year have been Tyrus and Moraine. They are the faction's three rack slot casters.
Yeah, I think having the three rack slots is really powerful too because it lets you take those two that you always want to take, and then that third one is like, this is really good for this matchup type of thing.
Right, exactly. And like in that sort of situation, and like in the only experience I can speak to is for Dusk, but like if only one Dusk caster ends up getting Battle Lust, then like that, like at the current juncture anyway, kind of makes that the faction then develops a Horisk problem. It's like it's going to be that caster's show.
Yeah, that would be my worry, is that stuff like that would happen. But I'm hoping that it's not the case, and we can find at least three casters out of a pool of six that you can play competitively and not just be stuck on one.
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of that kind of touches on another point was you know Dusk and Orgoth only have five casters, and I think without the rack, that difference is going to feel a lot more pronounced.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that they only had the five.
yeah, because
Oh, the juniors
Frozen
are
and
Fury
Forgotten
based.
gave them juniors.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah, I wonder if there's plans to add another one via another cadre.
Yeah, I don't know. Um,
I think they're trying to steer away from actual like cadres now
Hmm.
because it was an interesting concept to begin with, but it muddies up like the faction identity, I guess you could say.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think it would have worked until they started mixing resources. Like the fact that like Winter Core is a focus faction
Hmm.
and Old Umbry is a Fury faction. It's like I think that was kind of where the cracks started to show in the idea, and then also like I think having overlapping leader models in the first place was kind of a mistake. Yeah, even without the mixed resources issue, because I think like
So you're talking like Yana and the ones like that.
yeah, like Yana, Kane, Sparkhammer, it's like when you're doing a balance pass and they've said that they've wanted to, keep their cards the same, regardless of what army they're being played in. Like that accounts for the changes that Yana had. Like how do you balance Kane to be both in Storm Legion and Gravediggers?
Yeah, that's so true. And I think this is all a product of this is what SFG inherited, and they want it to go. They want to steer it in a different direction, without making anybody mad. And I think they've done a good job navigating that. Whereas like you're not really making too drastic of a change, but a change enough to go in the direction that they want to go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with their transparency on it. Like they give you reasons like this is the reason why we decided to do this.
Absolutely, yeah.
They didn't just say, we're doing this and then everyone's asking and then no, they don't never get a response because that was something that used to happen when it was privateer.
Yeah, and I think it starts from like they didn't want to fully move on from factions as we knew them in the birth of Mark IV. But now it's effectively like your army is your faction.
Right.
Used to be like your army was like that your army was more analogous to a theme force was how it started, but now with there not really being that overlap between armies of the same faction, the faction is a little not it's not entirely meaningless, but it's kind of meaningless.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with it. I mean, you're still fighting for essentially your country, you know.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's like in terms of gameplay, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah. It's more symbolic.
just Signar as an example. I mean, there's nothing in Storm Legion that even remotely goes with Gravediggers. The aesthetics are two completely different armies, and they would be in different areas of a conflict.
Yeah, and I think it was like originally like the cadres were going to be more specialized type stuff that would be splashed into the army proper, and that didn't quite end up being how it worked out because cadres ended up kind of just becoming more like well they just kind of didn't turn into that. Like Stormforge was kind of just an extension of what Storm Legion already was.
Yeah, I mean the only Stormforge models you really see in Gravediggers are the Storm Veins, and that's because they have range reducing. And who knows what that's going to look like in the update as well. I mean,
Yeah,
they might just say, "Hey, you can't take these models in that anymore because they've given us a transition period."
yeah, maybe.
A lot of speculation here, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's really hard to speculate about the January update because it is going to be such a seismic shift.
Yeah, and these weren't the January updates is kind of a new concept for us as well. in the Mark II days. It was just like an errata document.
The Mark II days, your balance pass was like you might in the next book get like a solo that gives you a reason to take something that hasn't been there.
And Mark III, they didn't really have it because you had CID, so they'd basically just do like this faction got an update and then move on to the next, and then this faction got an update. So this is a new thing with Mark IV and SFG, just doing I mean, Privateer I think did one big update before um, they sold the IP to Steamforged.
Yeah. And then the second one was still a bit like in transition almost.
I think this is gonna be like they've had an update, but I think this is like their first like fully like this is all Steamforged like update.
Yeah. So
Exciting, that's for sure.
Yes, I'm super excited.
I did have one hot take.
All right, let's hear it, John.
It's a it's kind of a cold take actually.
Lukewarm.
But I am interested to see the uptick in legacy competitively in the next year. One with the addition of SDL models that you can get to field legacy armies, and with the whole shift in no rack spells, leveling the playing field a little bit. I think we're definitely going to see a lot more legacy, and I'm excited for it. I know some people are a little concerned because it brings more into the game that you have to remember. But I'm excited for it. That's why right now I'm playing Grimkin, because I don't foresee them changing too much, and if I can get a head start on next year, then I think they'll be good next year.
yeah, I'm a little nervous about an uptick in legacy stuff because like when I stopped playing at the end of Mark II, like part of the issues I was running into competitively, I know, was that I was just like there's just too much stuff in the game, you know.
Hmm.
Uh yeah, it's like there's hundreds of warcasters and I need to know what all of them do.
Yeah.
uh and like it's a bit different now because like the game is more open information and all that, so it's like and as long as you know the right questions to ask your opponent, it doesn't really matter the like the actual specifics of how the warcaster does the thing, as long as you know that it does the thing.
Right. Right. And you also don't have like 20 casters to remember per faction.
Yeah, although I never had that problem to begin with because I was playing Ret. So like when I stopped playing, we had like 8 casters, I think.
That's true. That's true.
And only like 4 of them were playable.
And I honestly, I would be okay if armies that already exist in Mark IV are not as prevalent, like Legacy Cator. I don't mind if we don't see them at all, or Signar, or any of the pricks, any of the
Yeah,
ones
like
that already have a replacement. I
if
don't
you
care
had
if
your Mark IV refurbishment, like
yeah, I don't
you can
care
stay
if
at
if they
home.
get like if their rules are nearly unusable. um I honestly, but like stuff like Grimkin and Crucible Guard, Cephalix, Infernals. It makes me happy that well, Infernals were already popular. Um, but it makes me happy that people are going to be able to pick up those armies and do well with them if things are done right.
Well, and it also kind of gives us like the whole like the the first hit is free.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially when we have a lot of people coming in, um, either coming back or starting up fresh, and seeing some familiar models might entice them to buy the new ones.
Yeah, actually, when I stopped in at the store today, I was talking to Horton, and he was saying there's another returning player who's been looking at the models and been picking some stuff up, and he was telling me how the the person was saying, "Oh, I have all these old things and I can't use them anymore." And I was like, "Yeah, he absolutely can use them and play with them." And he was actually like, "What?" I think returning players sometimes don't realize that they can use some of these older ones. So I think this
Right.
will also help with that. And I just want to say real quick, Eric, you heard it here. John is saying he's buying Kador for a 6th time. That's what I heard in that whole thing.
No, I will not.
He's going to play
I have my
Butcher, 2
Kador.
Conquests, and a bunch of
Oh
rockets.
my god! If they bring
Oh, so
Sorsha one,
you mean old school?
all bets are
Kador.
off.
Yes, old school Kador.
Oh, all right. I think we can move on to the next topic.
What are we doing? That's not a segue, John.
I
Thought
don't
we're
do
professionals.
segues. I don't do segues. I'm done with this. Let's talk
No,
about something else.
But yeah, no, the keynote was
Let's
great.
change the subject.
Yes, I'm avoiding talking about buying into Kador again.
Yeah.
Speaking of things we did in the past, like sell Kador 5 times. Year in review.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, how many times did you sell Dusk this year?
Once this year,
Okay.
and then the year before, I sold them.
You sold them after winning the painting competition with them too. That's a
Yes. The guy
power
was like,
move.
"Oh, can I have that?" Yeah, sure. After I'm done with the painting competition, I didn't win, but I got. I think it was like 3rd place or something.
You got a shiny.
Yes.
And this past year, John, let's talk about your experiences this year, because you did pretty well at a couple of the painting competitions too, didn't you?
Just the um, poker brawl. Oh, and that food machine I got runner up. But yeah, I won gold on, I think it was 3 categories. I won gold on the two categories for regular miniatures with the Abyssal King, my one Abyssal King, and Fire Quill. So I was pretty happy about that. I don't think I'm a great like technical painter, but um I have a lot of fun like with colors and stuff like that, and I paint to make things pop, and I think people sort of like it draws attention. So, but yeah, I really don't think I'm a super great like technical painter. There's a lot better out there. That's for
I mean,
sure.
you're good at picking out those details that draw the eyes to these areas on the model that just look incredible. Like when you like on the table, especially your stuff is just stellar.
Thank you. I'm not good at taking compliments. Um, but yeah, I do like to paint. I like I my idea of painting is tabletop plus. Have minis that if you look at them closely, you can see the lack of detail in some areas, but when you're looking at them, they they pop and they have some detail to them. But that's usually how I can get a whole army painted. Is that I don't go too crazy on them. Try not to, at least, except for a couple models here and there.
That's been my approach as well.
Yeah, and your stuff, by the way, looks awesome. Like,
Oh,
I've
thank you.
seen,
And
yeah.
I've definitely come around more to your idea of painting to make things pop. because like so one thing that I've done is with when they announced that the Ghost of Ios was now the starter box, and like because I originally had them painted in like the old school ret style, while I had my own separate color scheme for the House Callus stuff. Because I was
Hmm.
like, hey, they're a cadre, they're their own thing. Let's have them be unique. But now that they're just like part of the army, and I was like just finding myself gravitating more towards my color scheme for them than my original House Callus stuff, I was like, we can go back and modify my old scheme to blend in more with this. And because it's like the armor is white and all that, like as opposed to like the light gray that I was stopping at before, like just having that little bit of extra pop to it is
Yeah,
I've found that to be quite effective.
yeah, for sure.
So like however like whatever color you think you want it to end up, it's like if you go just like one level higher for your top highlight, it just does wonders for it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think your painting awards this past year were well deserved. Your stuff looks amazing.
Thanks.
I love your battle brig too that you have themed as what is it, the Going Merry?
Oh,
Oh, the One
yeah,
Piece.
yeah, the One Piece one.
Yeah.
It's that one is the Sunny.
Oh, the Sunny.
Um,
That's right.
yeah, I still want to do more to it. I want to sculpt the the lion.
Yes.
That'll be another project for another day. I have too many projects going on. But yeah, I'm actually proud of the very expensive money wise and model wise the hooch hauler turned into a sky bomber that I made where I basically just sculpted on top of the barrel to look like the cloth, and I put a whole bunch of boarding party trolls on top of the where the hooch hauler riders are and stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah,
that was fun to make.
it's
John,
brilliant.
you'll have to get a picture of that and we can post it on socials so people can actually see it.
Okay, all right, will do.
Also, post your fire quill because I love what you did with the base on that.
Oh, it I'm happy that it inspired a much better painter than I am to design and 3D print sort of a similar setting that I did with the mast like sticking out, and he ended up painting it, and that looks amazing.
Now, like it's
I can't.
such a good idea. Like, it has like that same energy as like you know Jack Sparrow's introduction where his ship is sinking and he just walks off
That
of it to the
yeah,
dock.
it was born out of the second Abyssal King that I got. Was the masts and stuff was like just sort of like destroyed. And I ended up wanting to do something different with it, so I gave it an anchor instead, since it's not a what do they call it as the weapon? Bowsprit, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not a bowsprit. It's clearly a
Yeah,
mizzenmast.
yeah, it is a mast, and so I took that. I'm like, you know what? It'd be great if Firecool was looking like Captain Jack Sparrow, like it's sinking. His little boat is sinking, and he's just like
But he's still shooting his
standing on
guns.
it. Yeah, he's about to take his last step into the dock. And yeah, I ran with it, and I'm happy with the
No, it
turnout.
looks very good. I am uh, always quite happy when I see that.
That means I have to play Firequill again.
Do it.
I do
You're tr-
miss playing him. Um, but yeah, I had a good painting year. Gaming not so much, other than I did get a lot more games in um this year than I did last year. So I guess that's a plus. I think I got like between league and tournament games, I got at least 40. And then adding in casual, practice games and game night games, probably close to 100 games in the year, which is not normally something I would do. So I'm happy about that. My winning record was not that great this year. I did jump around a little bit after Boker Brawl, where I played, started Kador, and Kador, as fun as it is to play, is a very finesse army that I did not master. But I didn't do too horribly with them, and now I'm on Grimkin for the near future. I don't know what the new update brings, but um, I did have one of my. I didn't have like set goals, but I had ideas of what I wanted in the year, and one of them was to have a winning record in a tournament, which I did. And that's something I don't think has happened too much in my Warmachine life, career, whatever you want to call it. I'm usually hovering towards that bottom pool of players, to my own detriment, because I usually will play some jank. Anyway, you guys can talk about your year.
Yeah, Eric, why don't you go ahead and talk about your year as a player and everything?
Okay. Well, on the list of things that I hadn't done before, I ran my first event this past year. We had a tournament this summer at our new stomping grounds. And yeah, I was pretty excited for that because it's like I do but like it scratches a similar itch, it turns out, to like DMing and D&D and such, being the being the guy running the whole thing. And we did run into some issues with time because the store couldn't uh, be open for the entire length that we needed it to, which was disappointing. We kind of had to truncate things a bit, which you know was kind of a feels bad moment for a lot of the players who like to play longer games, who aren't going for the turn 2 assassinations and such. But I think despite that, things still went pretty well. We get to do a follow up in February, and this time with a bit more time to work with. So hopefully that turns out well. I got to bring in my nephews to judge our painting competition there.
Yeah, that was great.
May have my one nephew, who's going to be turning 11 in February, reminded me a few weeks ago that I had promised him. I don't remember having this conversation, but there's no doubt in my mind that we did actually. That I would get him the Crix starter as both his birthday and Christmas present.
Oh.
So you said you were getting your son into Storm Legion. We might have a ready-made rival for him.
Nice. I love that.
Well, and like for him, it's like I picked up when I was at Gen Con. I picked up that Star Wars Battle of Hoth game that came out recently, and he's a big Star Wars fan. So we've been whenever I've seen him, I've brought that game and we've played a couple scenarios from it, and yeah, he actually beat me last time we played. So like he's
Nice.
because I told him at the start, I was like, okay, like you're old enough that I'm not gonna be taking it easy on you,
Right.
So like after the first couple of games, which he lost pretty badly, we talked about like some strategy and stuff like that, and it's like which he really took to heart. And a few games later, he had actually legitimately racked up a win, and it was really cool to see. So we'll,
Nice.
and it's kind of like it's a good board game approximation of a miniatures game in a lot of ways. So I think he'll take to actual miniatures games pretty well.
Good. Good. Good
So
stuff.
that's on the goal for next year.
Yes.
Is to fan that flame as much as I can. On the gameplay side of things, I had Boker Brawl, which was a little bit of a mixed bag for me. I did. It's one of those things where it's like my overall record on the weekend was worse than the previous year, but I also just do feel like I played better despite that. And like the losses that I did have were like either like in really close, well fought games, or were just my own fault in ways that I like recognize and can fix. So it's like the record doesn't say so, but I do think I played a lot better this past year than the year before, so that's gratifying. And I did go
That's always
three and
good.
one in the big base brawl. And I think there's a parallel universe not too far from this one where I went 4-0. So that feels good. Went 1-4 in the team tournament though. That was less good.
Yep. Same.
Well, that can happen in team tournaments, though. I mean, the matchups can be kind of rough sometimes.
Yeah, um, had one loss where I just got a little too enthusiastic about my next activation and forgot to repo Moraine, and that ended poorly for her. But like I remember talking with my opponent afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, if that didn't happen, I was gonna have a really rough game here." But so it's like, yeah, I did just gift you this one on a silver platter, didn't I? But so there's that. The only other real like noteworthy like event that I did this past year was Food Machine recently, where I did manage to come in second place. Had a lovely game against Kyle
Peter.
in the process.
Actually, I got to play both of you at that.
Yeah, Kyle got to beat me without cheating. That felt really good.
Kyle forced me to spend $50 on rerolls.
It's for charity. That's what I
That
I
kept
guess I don't
saying.
feel so bad. I
that's
spent
what I
$50 on
kept.
my list.
I spent way more than that on my list because I wanted to make the numbers go up.
Once you started, you couldn't stop.
Well, it's like, okay, I know that like I'm like increasing stats and things that aren't ultimately going to matter, but I can do it, so why wouldn't I?
I mean, he didn't. I mean, you didn't really like that I removed your cats very trivially without cheating.
um so I think volume fire is a bad rule. Just kind of in general. And
Is it
seeing
volume fire or the fact that they can CRA?
so it's both, like, but even without the CRA, I think volume fire is a kind of unhealthy rule in the current environment. Like, I would actually like to see it become more of a more of like you forfeit your other attacks to do a CRA with yourself sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like I think the fiction behind it would be that like it's punching through armor with the sheer volume of attacks, but the individual attacks aren't what's doing that. So it's like I think if it was like forfeit your extra attacks to get bonuses to your rat and pow on one big attack, like I
Like a
think
both
that
barrels.
yeah, basically. Like, but it's like the bonus is dependent on like how many shots you're forfeiting, type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I
Because
mean, we'll
I,
see.
I I think that does a better job of selling the fiction of like you're punching through this heavily armored thing with the sheer volume of lesser attacks than the current wording of it is. And that would, I think, make the fact that you could CRA with it just feel less weird and janky to me. Because then it's like, oh well, the other rifles and things are, still just contributing to the volume of fire and all that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and I don't want it. I don't want the Rangers to come down like that, but I feel like they're going to.
Well, it's a tough problem to solve, I think, because they're elite single wound infantry. The environment is not good for single wound infantry, so they have to hit hard. Like they have to be able to really punch above their weight class in order to be worth their points when they're expensive single wound infantry. Like it's the same kind of thing like Mage Hunter assassins run into. It's like those guys are 2 points a model and they die to a stiff breeze. But if they hit you, they do a lot of damage.
Right.
So that's what makes them worth it. Like if you're going to have elite infantry that's fragile, it has to hit hard. But at the same time, it's like I don't know if it's great that they so casually remove things that are, supposed to be fairly hardy. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to remember it's with a command card. It's an airdrop that's getting them to that really high power that on top of the CRA.
Yeah, no, I see it. Like I see the fantasy and the fiction of it. Like it's pretty cool. Like, and it was after that where I posted in the in our Discord that I was like, ah, crap! It would be so easy to collect gravediggers. Like I wouldn't even need to buy much stuff. I could just browse on Steamforged's website for a little bit and just have a gravediggers army.
Yep, and with that, a lot of people started it and stopped playing it because it's a high skill faction.
Mm-hmm.
After you can learn the basics of it, but to get really good with it, you have to have a lot of reps.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a little sidetracked on that. So you were talking about Food Machine and all the cheating and.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people's Food Machine strategy tends to be like to just make something absolutely busted, by taking taking things wildly outside of your norm. And what I ended up doing for both this one and the one last year was it's building a list that I think would be fun to play and then spending money until it's good. And for some reason both times that has involved giving Hazaroth positive charge. But this time, because I've also been collecting and painting some Necrofactorium, I added in the Furies. And I thought the play was going to be like, oh, I'm going to use them to do bubbles of Power of Death, and that's going to make my cats hit extra hard, and that's going to be great. But what I ended up using them more for was sitting on objectives and using Hazaroth's invocations to keep them alive. And it was like more effective than normal because they're incorporeal. So it's like opponents only had so many magic weapons to throw at them, and I didn't have to spend as much focus keeping them alive as I would for like normal Dreadguard stuff because opponents just had fewer magic weapons.
I kept saying to myself, for charity.
For charity. So anyway, long story short, I don't think Dusk is going to get undead incorporeal units anytime soon.
That's probably for the best.
Probably. It does have me wondering if maybe like having like a dual void engine list and popping out a bunch of whites and keeping them alive with invocations could be on the table. That might be fun. Like in the current environment, it's not good, but maybe that'll be something that gets some play in next year, depending on how the update shakes out.
I don't know. Somebody was running at a West Coast event. I think it was Cascadia. Um, or was it Lock and Load? No, it might have been Lock and Load. They were running Tyrus with Max Guardians, couple of what you call it there, the 80 mils.
Oh, the Void engine.
I think it was Ryan from Spell Rack.
Yeah, yep. And he had some success with it, I believe. So we like to say that, single wound infantry is not viable, but so if they're not expecting it, sometimes it doesn't matter.
You throw enough models at a problem, it'll be solved eventually.
Yep. So it's funny you were saying that most people just spend on doing things that they couldn't normally do at Food Machine, which is exactly what I did. I had I had the two Abyssal Kings with Ragemonger, and then I added a Mountain King. I also added stones, the Creel Stone to the army, so armor values went way up. But turns out when your caster's armor doesn't match the rest of your army, uh, you will get killed more often than not. Which is what happened with Kyle. I put my caster in range of uh Plugger, and he took that personally. And I didn't realize that he had acrobatics and all
Yeah,
that.
Plugger with Jake's on feet having acrobatics is it's a thing.
That sounds pretty rude, not gonna lie.
It was.
Especially after he triggers Butcher's Bill and I have a fuel canister I can drop.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like that one night we were all like John, you, me, and Trey were talking after our open play about our food machine lists, and it was like I remember thinking to myself on the way home, it's like I've been, trying to come up with a list for this. Meanwhile, it's like I just casually fire off ideas to you and Trey that as you both going just like, hold on.
Hold that thought.
I mean, Trey had a Garlgast that threatened 19 inches in melee.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
it was
that Garl gas.
stupid.
I was happy to say that I killed the stupid thing. He just killed my caster after that.
I
So
mean, I was happy
didn't
that a
matter.
unit of Rangers shot off half of its boxes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Turns out Rangers are good. Um, the other thing was that I'm glad that I put something silly together that didn't take too much thought. Because it did make Food Machine more enjoyable. I think if I built something a little more complicated, I don't think I would have had as much fun. Personally,
Yeah, definitely. Well,
yeah.
and
Well,
like
I'm
because
very glad to hear you guys had fun.
Yes, it was a ton of fun.
like I go into food machine as just like okay, zero of my self-worth is tied up in winning games of War Machine, but like somehow even less is at stake when I'm doing Food Machine
For sure, yeah.
for charity.
For
And
charity.
we raised. Did we talk about this last?
Nope. Nope, we actually haven't talked about it.
Okay, yeah. We raised some money, right?
Yeah, just
A bunch.
about $1,040 I think was the official count. So that all went directly to the food bank of Central New York right before Thanksgiving, which was a really nice thing.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And that's with only we only had what eight people.
Yeah, 8 people all told, including Kyle, the one who was running it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did get some donations from um, other people that couldn't make it, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, it's a nice feeling to be able to help out while having fun, while eating and drinking at a brewery. Um, it's always a great experience, and
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
thankful that you ran it, and we're also thankful. I'm thankful that you ran that tournament in June because I know before I kind of took over the organizing for the group, and I kind of wanted to step back a little bit from that, and you guys have definitely picked up the mantle, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think it's good to have like multiple people, willing and able to run events.
I agree. I've seen too many communities crumble because there was one person that was sort of keeping everybody together, and when that person doesn't do it anymore, everybody just goes their separate ways.
Yeah.
So it's
Uh,
good that we have multiple people involved. It's great for the strength of our community, our tiny community.
It's growing.
DM burnout is real.
It is.
We actually had a couple new people recently join our Discord and everything.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm hoping that they come out and play some games with us.
But yeah, before I had to leave, yeah, Food Machine. It was a great time. I mean, there was 8 of us, so 7 of you guys registered, and I didn't want anyone to have a buy in the event, so I luckily remembered my models. So we had 8. I ended up cheating a little bit with some rerolls and everything as well. I didn't have anything like prepared because I was not expecting to play. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I am glad to hear that you guys did. The food there is incredible as always. The beers are great, and it's just nice to hang out and catch up. Where it's not like this is a super competitive day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
definitely.
might have tapped their Oktoberfest keg that was almost at the end of it.
That was really good beer, though. I,
It
I
was.
I always love me a good Oktoberfest. Yeah, Kyle, on that particular segue, I think I can yield the floor to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't even talked about my year yet,
Yeah,
huh?
your year. Let's hear it.
Um.
But no
So
food machine. We've talked about that.
Yes.
yeah, that's fair. So this year I did not get to play as many games as I wanted. I would say maybe 50 games total. So really not all that many. I didn't. I have tried playing on War Table, and while it is a useful tool, it it's not enjoyable for me. I don't get anything really from it. While I do get to meet and talk to a lot of different people on it, it's just not for me, and that's okay. Um, I got to go to Boker Brawl this year, which I had so much fun at, and I am very excited to go next year. And
Yeah.
just in general, I mean, this has been a great year for War Machine. Like the community has never been better, the game's never been better. Like I had a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm doing a podcast and creating content, so I obviously enjoy this game.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to play it more. And I really, really want to get into more painting. Seeing your stuff, Eric, and John's stuff, and it's there's not really. I mean, yes, I understand. I have a toddler, so a lot of my time is tied up with that. But I should be able to get at least 100 points painted in a year. So I really gotta buckle down and stop doom scrolling.
Yeah.
My last social media is Facebook, and that's going away as my first action of 2026. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. I have a Facebook account now, but like I don't have any friends in there. I have a Instagram, and the only friend is my wife because she sends me videos all the time. So I definitely get not having the social media there. It's helped a lot. Like I really don't miss it.
because I have determined that for however my brain works. It's like I can't just like the fact that I have the account is going to keep me doom scrolling on it. So like it needs to just go away.
Yeah, and I mean, this year I started doing some more video stuff where I have plans for more next year. Between painting, gameplay, we were talking, we want to start doing some battle reports. So hopefully that's something that can come to fruition. It's just going to take some planning and stuff like that. Just yeah. Basically, this year's been great for me. I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get to play as much, but I had a lot of fun. All the games I got to play, all the people I got to meet.
Well, and like being involved with the community and such like you're doing is like that is how you keep your interest in it up when you can't get games in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's nice to just talk about the game. I mean, that's what we're doing right now, obviously, but um, even at game night, like I feel like I spend more time chatting about the game than I am playing the game. I mean, yeah, I'm playing the game then, but I mean, the last game we played, Eric, I think we talked about the game more longer than the game actually lasted.
Yeah. I mean, well that'll happen when Helith is a quarter inch too far forward.
Yes.
And Kane threats the table. But yeah, like, and you know, I always enjoy being able to discuss the game after the fact, and like, you know, I know my games with David always end up being like we're kind of just like talking about the game as we're playing it. You know, like almost every game we end up playing becomes a dojo game in a way.
yeah,
Uh,
that's
yeah,
the same experience I've had with playing at game night, especially with David. They become this like you said, like a dojo, like a philosophical forum.
yeah, and well, and you know, like yeah, it's like I find that when I just like talk about my turn out loud, it helps me focus, you know, um so yeah, you know, like I like even in like more competitive games, I think it's like I'm just talking a lot, you know, like as I'm moving
Yeah.
models and stuff. And it's like, you know, probably betraying all my plans and things to my opponents and things. It's like, if I move Kruger here, like, yeah, that could be bait. Let's see if he goes for it.
As your opponent hears.
Yeah, oh yeah, just like out loud, like not
Wait, is he playing mind games with me? Is this
well,
actually bait?
like okay, like not like exactly mind games because I'm a terrible liar. Like every thought that I have just makes its way to my face. Um but but you know, it's like you can set things up so it's like, well, okay, if my opponent doesn't do something about this, I still get to, you know, teleport Kruger into his dudes that are on his objective, you know, like so it's like kind of you try to set up situations where like it's like yes, this is obviously bait, but it is bait that you have to do something about.
Yeah. It's a I like what you said, Kyle, that about our games. We spend a lot of time talking and just enjoying talking about the game, and it kind of ties into our year in review for the podcast and how many episodes we put out where we talk to different players about the game and how much we learn from them. And I just think that this year was great for that.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like I listened to all the spotlights that you did. Right now, it's kind of tough to talk about a lot of
It
them
is.
because while the information is useful still, a lot of it here in January is going to be a complete change. So,
Right,
might be
right.
a series we have to revisit
It's
after the
possible, yeah.
update. Might not have to go as in depth. Maybe do like, but we can talk about it.
Right.
Definitely.
But yeah, we definitely and we put out more episodes this year than we did last year. If we add up our regular episodes and our spotlight series, we definitely put out some content. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's been a great year. I mean, there's a lot to
And,
talk about.
yeah, and your videos too. I quite enjoyed
Yeah,
those.
no, definitely. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, I mean, I'm starting to post more on there. I started a TikTok for it. uh,
Oh,
Still trying to get that stuff figured out.
the TikToks.
And yeah, and we also have Instagram where I'll be posting some of the pictures that John will eventually forward over.
Yeah,
Same
I'll
for your
do
stuff,
that.
Eric. If you would like any of that featured on there, absolutely, let's get that on there.
All right.
Yeah, you're not just our correspondent anymore. You're actual. You've been
You
upgraded.
must contribute.
Sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Got to earn your keep, boy. Before we move on to goals and talking about the future, we should each, because I'm saying this because I have something in mind. We should each have like either a story or a moment that of a highlight for the year, something you fondly remember or not so fondly. I don't know. However you want to spin it.
Well, for me, it's not even like Warmachine related. It happened at the Boker Brawl. I remember uh, them talking about half moons or black and whites. So I brought Art and Seth and them some half moon cookies from our area, is what they're actually called, and they enjoyed them. And Art was kind enough to give me some. I don't even know what it was. It had like custard and a cherry. This pastry was just incredible, and I definitely want to have another one at some point. I think he said it was specific around Easter, so I'm gonna have to look
Oh,
up what it was and see if anyone anywhere around here does it. 'Cause,
that's cool.
you guys will probably very much enjoy it. But yeah, no, it was meeting the people at Boker for me, like all those different people, and it was just incredible because I haven't had that in since before COVID, before 2020. I mean,
Right, yeah.
that was like my big highlight of the year.
Nice, nice.
So it's like I don't know if like this necessarily counts as a highlight, but it is just like a moment from the year that sticks out in my mind. And like so Boker Brawl, round one of the team tournament, we drew Team Buffalo. And
Oh boy.
and so like to this day I'm still giving Rick crap for how he systematically dismantled me at last year's Boker Brawl. And
He
it's just
farmed you for
like
points.
yeah, like I've accused him of farming me for control points and all that. And like absolutely blowing out of proportion um my saltiness about the situation. But so we draw their team round one, and we like walk over to um the tables that we were supposed to play them at, and they're just there waiting for us with like like the like anime supervillain like steepled fingertips. And I was just like, yeah, it's like that. And then I went on to play a lovely game against Andy Cash, and uh, lost horribly, but it was fun.
And Andy's definitely a treat to play against because he knows a lot about the game.
Yeah, we like to kind of talk about the our point of like just spending a lot of time talking about games. It's like we spent a lot of time after our game just sort of talking about how it went. And he was kind of telling me he's like what you kind of did here was just like, yeah, I got these four coursers and they can all get snipe on them and everything, but only one of them's gonna have it at a time. So it's like, so you don't need to treat them all with that same level of respect. It's yeah, you're gonna take some hits coming in, but it's not as bad as you think it is, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Fun fact about Andy that he's actually one of our own that just happens to live in Buffalo, but he's from Syracuse, and I've actually known him since he was a kid. Like he was like uh, probably in high school, and he was playing at Games Workshop, the store we had here that I
yep.
worked at for a little bit. And yeah, he'd show up with his friends and they play 40K. And I always knew that he was like very bright when it came to war games. And it's nice to see that how much he's blossomed over the years, even taking a long break from playing. Because, like some of us, we start families.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, because I also first met him when we were playing like back in our 40K days. And so when I got back in for Mark IV, it was cool to reconnect that way. And it was kind of funny because like the first tournament that I saw him at after coming back was that one we went to out in Buffalo that we had to call short because of the weather. Uh,
Yes.
and we played our second round game against each other, and he pretty much dismantled me, like, and it was kind of exacerbated by like he had some pretty hot dice and I had some pretty cold ones, so it was like a game that was already gonna go his way kind of made worse by that. But it was but since we finished and we were just kind of waiting around, we're talking about things, and I was pretty salty about a recent game I had against Trey with pre-nerf Kishtar, just kind
Oh.
of annihilating me, and we're like somehow that got brought up, and he was just like, "Oh, do you want to complain about Orgoth with me?" And I was like, "Yes, let's complain about Orgoth."
Yes, because they have a gentleman named Mike Garbarini that plays Orgoth.
Yep,
Very
he's really
good.
good at it too.
Folks might not see him very often, but when he's out there, he's taking ass and taking names.
But yeah, so just I always enjoy the times where I get to hang out with the Buffalo guys, and and that was one of them.
Nice, nice, nice. Um,
So
so
what do
yeah,
you
my
got, man, who broached this question in the first place?
for a purpose. Um, have I told you guys the story of when I crashed? I call it the MAGA party at Poker Brawl.
Yes.
What?
Yes, you were telling me about that.
So, let's pan out. This is Poker Brawl. It's funny how we have stories about Poker Brawl as our highlights for the year, because usually it's our highlight event of the year.
It's as if
Um,
it's an event everyone should go to.
yes, yes, please. We would love to see you there. And we might have some swag when we go there. I don't know, maybe.
I'll make it
We
happen.
we did last year. This year that just happened. But anyway, Saturday night, normally, we as in me and a couple more degenerates would call them. We usually stay up pretty late on Saturday night, day night too, but Saturday night really stay up late. And we were the year before we were up till like 3:30 in the morning, just drinking in the hotel lobby. And this year it wasn't as late, but it was still pretty late. So it's probably like 2:30. Decided to call it a night. It was me, and I will not name the other two gentlemen that were with me. Just because I don't know if they want to be they want to be part of this story. But so I was cleaning up with someone. I can't remember who. I think it was like 3 or 4 of us that were still at the bottom. We were kind of cleaning up because it was a little bit of a mess after we were done with our debauchery. And the one person I was rooming with went ahead of me with someone else that was in the group that we were chatting. And so I start going up, and I don't have the keys to the room. So I'm like, I really hope that I can catch this person either like on their way there or before they go to bed. So I go to the level that we were staying at, and all of a sudden I hear like a lot of talking, and a voice sticks out that I recognize, and I'm like, wait, I am rooming with this person, and they're in another room. So there's like a lot of talking going on. So I go up to the room. The door was closed, and I knock. I don't know why I did it, but I just knocked on the door, and then it opens up, and there's this like I don't know if people that went to Boca Brawl last year probably noticed that there was a lot of like dressed up older people that night that were just walking around, and we were all wondering like what's going on. These people were all in this room, and they had like a little like after party or whatever. And so here's this like Latino man like that shows up, and a bunch of old white people are just hanging out there. And the two friends of mine that were I guess like just kind of like drawn into it or something. I can't even remember what they were there for. But I mean, we were all pretty drunk, so we were probably just like, "Oh, someone's talking, like, we'll have a conversation or whatever." So I'm like, I get there, and all of a sudden, like, people start looking at me and just decide like, "All right, this time to get out of here." So everybody started like scurrying. And I'm like, Well, I got to get these two back to their rooms because I think I was the more sober one, but and then one of them, I will not name who it was, that couldn't find their room or couldn't find their key. I think it was their room. They forgot their room number. So we're all like just walking around aimlessly in in the hotel trying to find a room. We finally did. But that was a lot of fun. Just
So
stuff
your
that
presence broke up the party.
yes, a Latino in a old white people party, and they just scrambled. And come to find out, it was something about. I did find out afterwards that it was some sort of political. I don't know if they were like doing like a fundraiser for a political campaign or something like that, but it had to do with something political. And I'm like, I just call it a MAGA party because it's old white people. So I was just assuming. That was my
Well,
story
a
for
group of old white people that dispersed when they saw a Latino man, I think. I,
right.
I,
Well, it's almost
I
as
think
bad
your
as John.
assessment is probably pretty close.
That's almost as bad as John almost getting arrested waiting for you.
That did
Oh
happen
man,
a year before.
that did happen.
Poor John.
uh,
Poor
it's always
John.
poor. Oh man.
So, do you guys want to do goals now, or do you want to do them in the new year?
If we set goals now, we'll be accountable for them later.
You accountable, man. Okay, all right, John. Why don't you start us off with some goals you have for next year then?
Goals. Yes. Um. So I will start off with hobby wise. I would like to finish, which is it's doable. It's almost done. I'd like to finish my winter core. With basing and all. They're mostly painted now. There's just a few details I have to add to them. And I do have a commission So another goal is to get that all set in a good timely fashion. That way it leads to more hobby time on a personal level. I want to have something painted for Boker Brawl. I don't know if I'll have anything specifically painted for it, or I might just pick out a model that I like and just put it in. Um, Game wise, I'd like to keep the pace of trying to achieve 100 games. Um, I think I didn't know it was achievable for me until I started looking at how many games I played this year, and I think it's doable. So, and I like to push that even um, further if possible. But I know it's sometimes it's not ideal. I do have a period of time where I don't get a lot of games in. Usually in around August to the end of October, I don't get much games because of marching band for my oldest. So playing games. Want. I don't really care about my wins and losses, but if I try, it motivates me to to play better. So I'd say I probably want to do a little bit better competitively. Um, I, I'm not saying I want to like. Well, I do. I would love to, but I'm not saying I'm going to win any tournaments or anything like that. But at least I want my goal competitively is I want to play games with people and give them a game rather than me fumbling through my own game and then running out of time because I didn't do things fast enough. That's my I guess my fear is that I don't want someone across the table being bored because I can't play Warmachine well enough to give them that game. And other than that, I think for the podcast, I did say that podcast and content creation as a whole, I wanted to um, start doing like tutorial videos, and that also brings me into another goal is to have my son be more involved playing games. He's getting to that point where he's probably going to start picking it up a little bit faster, and his attention span will get a little better. And he already loves anything that has to do with like board games and anything that involves math. He loves. So yeah, hoping to do some of that in the coming year. How about you, Kyle?
So a couple things for me. I want to play more games, but that's, can only do so much, and I want to kind of focus more on the games themselves. Something I really need to work on. I found myself, especially lately, getting tilted by dice really easily, and I don't know why, because I've always been like, oh, it's a dice game. You're gonna have those highs and lows.
Hmm.
It's just lately, it's just gotten to me, and I'm not really sure why. And that's something I really need to work on to make sure um, that I'm not, getting tilted over that kind of thing, because that's nothing you can help. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, and we're playing a game together, and I want to make sure it's an enjoyable experience for my opponent and myself. So just, helping get through that, like making sure I'm not tilting for something like that. Hobby wise, I definitely want to, like last year, I want to get at least 100 point list painted. If I can get two, great. Ideally, I would get them painted before Boker Brawl, but with not knowing what's going to happen until January, so maybe mid-February, I'll have a really good idea of where I'm going. That'll kind of determine what I'm doing, because if I end up staying with Storm Legion, I already have a pretty good start on that. So that'll definitely be attainable.
I support your endeavor to have fully painted armies at Boker.
I really want to. I really do, because it also helps with the bounty system, that they have going on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. So
Also,
like I got the first bounty real quick because it was like, okay, win a game with a fully painted army, and then it was like the next round was win games with 2 fully painted armies, and I was like, haha, they're ready for me.
winning. What's that? Is there a lose game with a fully painted army?
There probably was. I was really bad at keeping track of those.
Well, like getting the bounty system at this last year's Boker Brawl was how I got started on Crix. It was like not an active decision on my part, really, but it's like I won a bunch of bounties that got me like like the starter box, the battle group, and the auxiliary expansion, I think it was. And I was just like, well, I guess I'm playing Crix now.
Yeah, and just content-wise, for like a goal for myself, I mean, I want to create more content. I want to get more of the video content out, have people on, and, just have overall great discussions with all sorts of different people. And get some, battle. Like, I would love to get like 2-3 battle reports out this year, as we're kind of learning how those work.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. With painted lists.
Yes, that's I would really like that. And that'll also be a motivator to make sure I get something painted. What about you, Eric? What are your goals this year, hobby wise or game wise?
Well, a few. So like I said earlier, I want to sort of fan the flame for my nephew, who's been interested in miniatures games and board games and stuff like as long as I can remember. So just now that he's actually old enough to like grasp it a bit better, do want to nurture that. On a more personal level, it's like I do want to just well, like kind of like you guys said, get more games in. I know I kind of earlier this year had a bit of a time period where I just couldn't make it out, and like the motivation wasn't there to paint either, so it was just kind of like I was kind of existing in this limbo. I'd like to avoid that happening again. And to sort of piggyback off of one of John's points, like losing on clock is the worst way to lose this game. uh, so
Yes.
so like gonna and that was it was sort of a thing where it's like I went through a stage where that wasn't a problem at all, and then suddenly it was happening a lot. And I think part of it, like I had sort of diagnosed it as like I'm better at the game now, so I'm following more like paths of strategy in my head, and that's just eating up more of my clock. Like I wasn't losing on clock before because I wasn't considering as many options.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, like there's so many times where I've overthought something because I am thinking about it, or like done everything right just too slowly. Like
Yeah, and it's like before, like I would just like do something not knowing there were other options, and that level of like decisiveness, good or bad, at least means you're not losing on clock. So I'm trying to get more into a headspace of like it's better to make a bad play and lose the game on that than it is to spend an inordinate amount of time trying to find like the optimum play when you don't have to play optimally. Oftentimes, it's good enough to just make a good move rather than the perfect one. So setting a goal of not losing on clock nearly as much, that's not really a measurable one as far as I know, but I'm gonna just try to take my turns faster. I'm gonna continue to do play it painted, still keeping with that goal of not playing with any bare plastic. It's been a very motivating course to take, so I'm gonna stick to it. And well, I didn't set any podcast goals because this is still a fairly new thing for me.
Is there anything you want to do?
Uh, record more episodes and talk to some cool guests, I guess.
Yeah.
That seems attainable. And also, I would like to start getting involved in some war table stuff. Like I know in the Tried and True Discord, they've got the North American War Table League, and from that particular channel, it always sounds like they're having a really good time. But I've also never played on War Table, so I don't want to just dive into that. So if anyone wants to give me a game on War Table sometime, so I can get the hang of the interface and all that.
Yeah, I would love to. I actually, from not playing much War Table, that's actually one of the things I did this year was I participated, I want to say in like 4 or 5 of their leagues. And even though sometimes I couldn't get the games in, just being on the leagues, it definitely improved my game, and it definitely improved my War Table game. That's for sure. But yeah, if you're interested, I definitely would be willing to show you War Table. It's not Warmachine, but it's close.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't scratch the same itch, but it seems like a fairly um low stakes way of getting reps in when you otherwise might not be able to.
Right. And another thing that it does, especially if you join the leagues, is that you will get uh, a couple lists that about that you're playing against in, say, you know, uh, 3 days or whatever, and you can sort of strategize how that pairing process and what are you going to see, what do you think you're going to see, what would you drop against it, what just it gives you an extra time to think about that, I think it's something that benefits you when you have to do it on the fly. Like if you get that practice ahead of time, next time you see something like that, you're like, oh yeah, I remember I did this, and they dropped that. So
Well, yeah, and also getting reps in against stuff that we don't really have locally.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
because it's like there's been times where it's like I'll show up to travel to a tournament, and it's like, oh, I haven't actually seen this army before, and I don't really know what they're doing, So, so yeah, that just seems like a good way to get some reps in, get more just general knowledge of the game, and yeah, think that about covers me.
All right. Um, I think at this point, I mean, we've been recording for like what, over 2 hours. I think we can kind of just talk about some current events we have going on. When is that, Eric?
Yes, February 21st, a steamroller tournament at the Art Store in Syracuse, New York. I will be running this one, this time with more time for activities.
Yeah, there is a ton of space there too. You're not bumping butts with your neighbors.
Yeah, I set the limit at 24 players because we can get 12 tables, but there is loads of space even with all 12 tables in use. So,
But it's still going to be maxed out at 3 rounds.
yes, still will be maxed out at 3 rounds. And, winner will be determined by tiebreakers. Hoping to also get another best painted competition in there as well. And it was mentioned that they were going to be able to get prize support from SFG. I'm not sure on the logistics of that, but that is on the table as well.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they're going to offer. I mean, they have the organized play kit, obviously, which has the posters, the tokens, command cards. So we'll see if they have anything else with that.
I want a Bear Nova poster. Amber took it from me.
Oh, John.
I had to settle for paints. No, I love the new paints that I got from
Yeah, if I really hope they continue doing these posters because they're nice paper too. It's not like
yeah.
just it's nice. It's a nice piece of paper that would frame up very, very nicely. And then we have some other stuff coming down the pipeline, kind of waiting on definites. So stay tuned over the next few months, and we'll be announcing some more events out here that I know I'm very excited for. And my printer is kind of screaming at me because it knows it's about to go get put to work.
Good.
But yeah, so if you don't mind taking a road trip to the frozen wasteland of Syracuse in February, fun times are guaranteed.
Yes, we will be having fun.
I think last February we had like 50-degree weather, so let's shoot for that, right?
Yeah.
Well, if this past week is any indication for how winter's gonna go.
I'm hoping we're getting it out of the way though, because it's not even officially winter, and I'm about ready to
already over it.
pull my hair out. Especially since I have to do some cleanup outside the school that I work at, and I'm always out there with my salter going around and shoveling, and yeah, it's we spent like 6 hours out of the 8 hours today outside.
Well, if it gets cold enough for long enough, a lake effect will stop because there's no way for the water to evaporate, right? If the whole lake is frozen.
Not here, sir. The laws of physics do not apply to central New York.
Well, I mean, this is I don't know if the whole thing with Central New York, it's either snowing or it's construction. And if you're in the city of Syracuse, you have both now.
Yes, we have
the road construction was extra bad this past non-snow.
Yep.
Yes.
They decided to do all the construction all at once.
And finish none of
fun.
it.
Yeah, a multi-year project. Let's just do it all at once.
But don't let that discourage you from visiting Syracuse in February for our tournament.
Come to our event. It'll be a good time.
Just set your expectations for the surrounding area accordingly.
We'll get our sleighs ready for rescues.
Yeah, I've talked about it before. The thing I like about the art store is it's a commercial art supply store, so it's not just the miniature stuff there. You're going to have access to all these different kinds of paints, all these different kinds of brushes, all these different mediums that you can get. Like Trey was talking about oil-based stuff, and he doesn't have to go to a different store to get oil-based paints and mineral spirits with, zero order. He can get that right there, the same place he's getting all of his normal acrylic paints too.
Right.
That's so true.
And he can actually talk to the employees because a lot of them do this kind of stuff, and they can point him in the exact direction he needs to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I know. I looked at the paints there. What's that brand that.
Pro acryl.
Yes, I I I had gotten that gift card or gift certificate for them to buy paints from them, and then I noticed that they sell them at the art store, and I bought a few pots. And I tried them, and they're so smooth. I love them.
Yeah, the Pro acryl paints are great. I hope they pick up some of the P3 stuff, because the P3 stuff I have, the new stuff, it's really nice too.
Yeah, I'd like to try that.
But the Pro acryl stuff, it's $5 a bottle, and they have the whole line, and all the colors are great. Like, they're vibrant.
Mhm.
They go on really nicely. I actually want to try those speed paint markers and see how those work.
Yeah, I've been intrigued
Heat
by
paint
that.
markers. Hmm.
Oh, you haven't heard of those, John? They just came out.
No. What is this sorcery?
It's like a marker, like a Sharpie, but it's speed paint.
Interesting. So you can just Sharpie your models?
Essentially, they say it
Allegedly?
puts off the perfect amount of speed paint, so you're not like
Oh, I
having
see.
like huge pools of it in certain areas.
Right.
Yeah, because that is
Okay.
what I found with the army painter speed paints, is that it's like it's like I want like a coat and a half of it.
Mm.
It's like I put one coat on and it's like too thin in spots. Then you put another coat on, and it's like, well, now it's opaque. And why did I do this?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been using less and less speed paints because I mean I wasn't using them right to begin with. I was using them as a basically a tour guide of where I should put paint on, and I've I still do use them, but I haven't bought any new ones, and I haven't replenished what has run out. But
I'm still using speed and contrast paints in the amounts I was using before, and but I'm adding extra steps more and more
right,
onto the tail end of things. Like, it's still doing everything in slap chop, but now that's just like step one. Now there's like going back for extra highlights and stuff after the fact.
right.
Slowly incorporating actual painting techniques into my painting.
Yeah, no, that's actually great. And they help get you along, and get a lot of models done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that might be a wrap for tonight.
I think so.
Already.
So, already, yeah. No, thank you both for spending time talking with me about Warmachine. It's been a great year. Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, welcome.
Very excited to have you on as a regular host.
Thank you so much for having me along. Like I said earlier, I thoroughly enjoyed my guest spots in the past, and I'm looking forward to settling in.
And if you want to come on and talk about your local community, please reach out. More than happy to have you on talking about your community and what you're doing to help grow it. I know that's something we started doing, and I still would like to have at least a segment about it, just to kind of spotlight that. And with that, I'm also I try to always plug the community finder that Tried and True has done. Definitely check that out if you are looking for people to play.
And if you want to just come on to make jokes, I will yes and you. To hell with that.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys. It's been a great year. And I think we're going to just everyone have a good holiday.
Or two or three.
Yeah, whatever you celebrate.
All the holidays.
So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
See ya. probably when the update drops, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping we can get out for an open play game.
I was meaning in the
podcast.
podcasting sense.
Oh man, I was
We're
talking
not actually
IRL.
seeing each other. Yeah, see you next week.
Meetups in Meat Space. What is this?
Yeah. But thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.